Hello and welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith and we are in massive darkness. That's not a joke. We are currently kind of surrounded by a bunch of orc enforcers. Our battle wizard has gotten a little tied up with some guys that are fairly strong that I didn't realize until very late in the last turn or video that these guys are actually very, very tough and soak up quite a bit of damage. We only need one more hit against the ogre mage and that'll be the end of him. And I got some incredible feedback because the Battle Wizard gets to start this particular round. And I want to thank Daru, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Please let me know if I didn't. I'm going to use his feedback in terms of taking this Ogre Mage out as soon as possible. We are going to be using the Battle Wizard for his teleport. And his teleport is going to allow us to leave an area or zone with enemies, which you typically can't do. And zapping out into the hallway. Now, yes, I have one extra move because it's a teleport too. I could go to here, but that would be ridiculous because if I was there, then after I take a zap attack at him, I wouldn't be in line of sight to do any damage against these guys. So I'm going to stick it out right here. And I'm actually going to use my massive shadow to scare the ogre mage that he can't see me coming, but I'm right behind him. And we're going to go ahead and zap this guy from behind without him knowing. And of course, no defensive dice. And I also get no enhancements off this either. There it is. One hit. That's all we needed. So he is long gone. We can take that ogre mage out of play. Now, there is one thing I want to make mention of. When I brought the ogre mage back into play in the episode that I did, we didn't take back 5 XP from each of our characters. So at this point in time, we won't be gaining any XP, if that makes sense. Because normally when you kill a roaming monster, you get 5 XP. But I actually had kept the 5 XP on my characters because I thought we'd be able to kill them really quick. And it still took us one video to get them down again. So just so you guys know, whenever you kill a roaming monster, always take 5 XP for both heroes. But in my case, I already had it given. I'd already given it to my heroes because we'd already killed them once mistakenly. The battle axe is going to drop. Now, this is a really weird rule within the rule book, something that I kind of debated. Technically, when this actually drops, it goes immediately to whoever killed that particular enemy. So actually, Elias the Battle Wizard would automatically get the battle axe. Even though he's not in the same space, it just automatically gets sucked over to him. I think that's not really thematic and it's kind of silly, but I'm still going to play it by the book and have Elias take this item. Now, I don't like it. I'll say that much. I'm not really a big fan of it because it just doesn't make sense. I think it would make a lot more sense for him to have dropped, for the Ogre Mage to have dropped it in his location. So I think that's something that along with previous Zombicide games that Simon had made, people had house ruled the ability to hit their own characters within the same zone. They didn't like that, things like that. This kind of rides along that same vein where people are going, I don't know if everyone agrees that loot would just drop and then fly over into someone's hands. It just doesn't make sense. I guess he uses magic, so maybe you could come up with some thematic reason as to why he would be able to pull a battle axe towards himself. But regardless, we'll give it to him because that's what the rules state we're supposed to do. And at this point, we technically can rearrange if we want to for free. So this melee weapon says the attack, if we get BAM, defender gets attack -1 for the counterattack. So basically it just helps us on counterattacks. It removes one of their dice. It's not bad, but again, it doesn't help us because it splits up our ability to do things. So it's really not a useful thing. I don't want to get rid of the wooden ring because it pairs up with my armor of life so well. So I don't feel like transmuting all of these 3 things together for any reason. I also kind of like the Ring of Shadow too for now. So we'll leave it as is. I'm not going to do any reorganization, but I still have 2 actions. So the wizard's going to turn his attention to these guys, and I'm going to hope to put enough damage on them to kill them. So we're going to be rolling 2 yellow dice against them, and of course these guys get 1 blue die, which isn't all that much. So we should, even though they have 3 health, they don't have all that much in the defense side of things. So I am in darkness, so I'm going to obviously get my shadow skills, but I still also have the... let's see here. First, yeah, so technically even regardless, I still have the Ring of Shadow, which allows me to be in shadows for my first attack anyway, but I am in shadows for my entire attack, basically. So, of course, any BAMs will give us extra swords, so that's good, and of course, we also get an extra BAM for being in shadow mode, so that's good too. So we'll see how this all pans out in the end. Oh, perfect. That's awesome. That's a great roll. Okay, so what ends up happening here is we got ourselves a shield block. So basically he was able to block off 1 of our attacks. but we happen to get 2 swords and a BAM. We know our BAM can absolutely be used for an extra sword, so I'll do that to give it to 3 hits. We also have a shadow mode BAM that we get, and let me just see if I can use that. The hero or ally in line of sight may heal 1. Absolutely, I'm going to use that extra BAM in order to heal up our battle wizard 1. And we throw 3 damage at the orc enforcers, which is good news. So what's going to end up happening is the 3 damage will actually put 2 damage on, which would be 3 total, to take out one of the minions, and then the other one here wraps around and hits the next minion. Now that's where the rules get interesting, because you can carry damage between the minions or the mob characters, but once you hit the actual bosses, you can't carry that damage over like I just did. So this damage would never have happened if we were down to just the boss character. The boss character has to be hit directly, not as a result of hitting and killing somebody else and then damage coming over and hitting him as well. So it's a little interesting in the rules that way. We still have one more attack though, so we might as well do it, because we might as well thin this herd as much as we can. So we're rolling the exact same thing, kind of hoping for the same type of results. That's a really bad roll. It's really cocked on the side. Okay, but at the end of the day, that didn't really pan out so hot. The BAMs won't do anything on the Orc Enforcer side of things. For me, I just got 2 swords. I do get 1 BAM for being in shadow mode, so technically that would give me 3 swords, but they block 2 of them anyway, so that'd be 1 damage. I probably should anyway just throw the damage on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use it to heal. I'm going to use it to heal rather than put the damage on, because I know that this counterattack's coming back at him like right now. So I'm going to go ahead and use the BAM to heal instead of using it for the sword. And now what we're going to do is have to deal with a counterattack coming from the Orc Enforcers. So they're going to use a red and a yellow, which is nasty. Now, these guys are obviously melee, so they're going to move to get into the same zone as me. They found me and they don't like me so much. So they're going to use a red and yellow, and my battle wizard has 1 blue die. That's right, he's terrible at defending. Just hoping he can do something about that. Sorry with the lighting there, guys. There we go. Gonna come back. And hey, we got his, oh, that's perfect. So he completely blocks it, no issue whatsoever. And again, on defense, remember, when he gets attacked, his wooden ring gives him a BAM, which then can be used to heal. So now he's bumped to 4. That was a perfect sequence of events. So that's good. So now we managed to stop that. And again, that's the Battle Wizard's turn all done. And now we're going to move over to Whisper. Now Whisper wants to come in and help his friend. She's going to run over. She's going to run into the same spot as him. Now, I don't think, let me just see here real quick. Yeah, I got to burn a whole action just to get in there, which is kind of sad. And then once I'm in here, I'm in a shadow spot. So that's a good thing. Although, of course, my first attack, each activation is in shadow anyway. But hey, being in shadow is always good. It's also going to minus off a shield for being in shadow, so that's awesome. And I'm using 2 yellow dice against a blue dice. And I think the only other, let me see, do I have any other attack-based things? Shadow Mode Defender. Oh, yep, Shadow Mode Defender. That's right. I get -2 shields in the dark. I forgot about that. Haha, that's even better. All right, here we go. And wow, that was, I'll re-roll that whole set because they got all messed up in the corner. Oh, geez, that was bad. Okay, so they basically easily blocked me. I got 2 swords and they got 2 shields. But you got to remember, my special ability allows me to take off 2 shields. My Shadow Mode skill takes off 1, and then the sneak attack takes off 1. So really, essentially, this is what happened. 2 damage straight through. 2 damage straight through on the one that's on here kills one of the minions. Perfect, perfect. So now we can go straight up and try to attack the boss. And we're on our final action. So here's hoping we can pull this off. Last attack coming through. Well, I guess that works, but it's not a very powerful attack. So basically, my Shadow Mode skills of taking away shields is pretty pointless right now. I only get to put 1 damage on him, so that's not exciting. I don't think there's anything else I can really do. So that's pretty much the end of Whisper's attempt, but 1 damage on the boss. Well, sadly, the boss is still alive, so it's going to come back at Whisper. So I was hoping I could kill it, but it didn't really pan out. Although with Whisper, I get 3 blue dice, so that's awesome. It's always a big fan of using Whisper for defense. Here's hoping I can survive this attack. And I did. Easy. Easy. So, I mean, no BAMs to speak of whatsoever. I'll just take a quick look at my defense here to see. I've even got extra shields on my plate armor. I can re-roll dice if I wanted to. I am more than happy not to. Everything else is good. That's perfect. I have no complaints there. So that's awesome. I'm happy with that. So we're going to go ahead and that's it. That's the end of that. Now the only downside is we're done both of our activations for our heroes. So again, he gets to now activate in the enemy's phase. So he's going to attack me again. The good thing is that he's going to attack the hero in range with the most XP. And the most XP, sadly, right now is Elias. So actually, he's not going to attack Whisper, who I want him to attack. He's going to attack my wizard, who's my weakest. My wizard, again, gets 1 blue die. That's not good. I'm really hoping. This is bad, too, because he's got some pretty nasty BAMs and diamonds, which he hasn't got yet. And, oh my gosh, that's perfect. I did not expect that. Now the cool thing is he attacked my wizard. When he did so, I can use my wooden ring for a BAM, which means I can heal. So I can go up to 5. So really he's just helping me heal, which is awesome. Do I have anything else I can do? No, I think that's pretty much it. Awesome. That was pretty good. That was nice and clean. I like that. So now we're going to go ahead and go to the experience phase. Do we have enough experience for anything? No, we don't. We're at 4 right now for our battle wizard. You can see right there, and then coming over to Whisper, we have 0. So there's going to be nothing that way. Then we're going to move to the event phase. So we're going to go ahead and flip our event card and hope it's not terrible. If there are already roaming monsters in play, activate 1. There are not. If not, spawn 1. Oh my gosh. If place the enemy in the zone with the token of the current level plus 1, current level if level plus 1 is not present. Okay. Worst. Okay, so another lesser roaming monsters coming out. Oh my gosh, it's the giant spider. Ugh, worst. Well, guys, if you wanted to see lots of action in this playthrough, you're seeing it. We're also going to be pulling a treasure 2 on this guy, and it's a scepter, and it's a magic. Thank goodness it doesn't give that red dye to the spider, because that would be so bad. So the scepter can't be used by the magic or by the giant spider because, as you can see, if I could get these cards to line up properly, the enemy actually has to be able to use those particular abilities in order to get this extra dice. So there's no bow and there's no melee dice there, so thank goodness. But still, we have to deal with, oh my gosh, his health is 5 times 2, so 10. Yikes. Okay, and this thing is not small. It's fairly large and outrageously massive. Now, I just want to read this to make sure I got the card right. Place the enemy in a zone with the token of the current level plus 1. Current level, if level plus 1 is not present. Oh, okay, so it's going to be 2. Well, that's nasty. So he's like right on top. That's a terrifying shadow. That's pretty nasty. I don't want to see that. So that's horrendous and the worst thing that could have happened, because I'm like, oh yeah, this will be easy. Let's just go in there and, get some treasure. That didn't really pan out so good. Okay, so that's the end of the event phase, and I want to blame all you guys for keeping me in the dungeon long enough to see that thing come at me. So now I'm going to go ahead and move the first player token from our battle wizard back to Whisper, and we're going to start our turn in pure terror. So the first thing I want to do is try to get rid of this silly enforcer, the last one left. So let's just try to chuck as much damage at it as we can. So I'm going to be going full tilt with my swords. I'm in shadow again, so this is going to help me a lot because I can stop defensive rolls. So here's hoping I can just put enough damage on the first attack. And I got 2 swords and a shield. I'm in shadow mode, so the defender loses this shield dice. So 2 onto 1 is enough, and that is enough to kill the last Orc Enforcer, but the boss. We killed the boss off. I don't actually get any BAMs or anything like that, so there's nothing to deal with there. I do get the King's Crown, though, which is pretty cool. So this King Crown is an item. It says if I get BAMs, Defender gets -1 shield. Wow, so I got a ton of these things. I got enough to... Oh, this is going to really help me when I go up against the giant spider. Okay, so that's awesome. Again, the Orc Enforcer is gone, so we'll remove the card. We got to remember also that we get experience for that. Oh, and I forgot actually, as we killed those minions, my mistake, I forgot to give XP to the hero that killed it. Shoot, who killed which hero? Rats! Okay, well, we know the boss that I just killed was 3 XP, so every hero is going to get 3 XP for sure. 1, 2, 3. And then over here, Ilias killed... Oh, he would have been able to spend XP in the last turn. That's too bad. Shoot, I missed that. Ugh. He killed 1, and... I can't remember who killed the other one. They each killed 1, but one of them killed 2. Shoot, sorry guys, I forgot to give them the XP on that one. That's my mistake. I'm pretty sure it was the wizard. I think it was Ilias. So I'm going to go ahead and give Ilias the extra 1. And I'm also going to spend... This is out of turn, but I'm going to spend the XP because I would have actually had 5 XP last round to spend. So I'm going to spend that 5 now to get our battle wizard another skill. So I do apologize for that, doing that out of turn, but I also totally forgot. We're level 2. Blank results get the BAM. That's pretty cool. Sword and attack, it's reroll. Sword and spell attack +1 reroll attack. Ooh, I like that. Let's do that. I'm going to do sword and spell. I'm unlocking that one. Gets my any attack, I get +1 reroll. That's sweet. Okay, so that's good. The giant spider is the only one left, and that's still terrible. Whisper used 1 attack in order to kill off the remaining boss. And now we've got 2 actions left with Whisper. So what can Whisper do? I'm going to probably just have Whisper go running into the tile with this guy. What is the best thing to do with the giant spider? He's range. He can hit me with range. Oh, I want to be close up with him. I don't want to give him range. Range, he has powerful dice. So I'm moving in with him, which could be risky to my life. So I'm going at him full charge. And we're going to go with only 1 more action remaining. I'm going to attempt to attack. This should be interesting. So 2 yellow dice. Now the cool thing is I'm in a dark spot. So I got the King's Crown plus the Shadow Mode. So I've got 3 shield minuses. This giant spider gets a blue and a green dice. So this is going to be interesting. I hope I can negate all the shields that I'm going to get here. Okay, so I end up negating both of his shields. That's great. I got an actual really good hit on him. So that's 1 sword, 2 swords. I get a BAM. A BAM on attack. Actually, so yeah, sorry, I needed an attack BAM to use that particular defender -1 shield, but don't worry, I still had these 2 from the Shadow Mode skill and from sneak attack anyway. But I can't use a BAM, I don't think, for anything else on this character on attack, besides what I just showed you there with the King's Crown, so that BAM's kind of useless as of right now, but I still hit him for 3. That's still a pretty solid hit. I mean, I'm obviously made him mad, but still, I hit him. So at this point now, this individual is not happy with me and is going to attack me back at melee because he's right beside me. So he's going to that is going to be 2 yellow dice, and of course Whisper has 3 blue dice. So here's hoping I can stop any pain and suffering coming my way right now. This is going to be bad. Oh, that was an amazing roll. Okay, so I got tons of defense. I easily blocked it, and I also got a BAM on defense. A BAM just gives me an extra shield, so that's not really going to help me at all, but that's fine. I didn't take any damage. Whisper's awesome. Okay, so that's great. Now we're going to shift over to our Battle Wizard, who's perfectly in line to do magic attacks from distance. So we're going to go ahead and start pelting this guy with magic. I'll use my Zap first, because that just makes sense. The other thing I could do is think about teleporting in here if I don't want to get counterattacked. That could also be really smart, because this spider has range, so I'll probably teleport into here in my last action. But anyway, let's do a zap first. So we're going to zap the spider, hoping to get a little hit on him. We did. We got 1 hit. So he takes 1 hit to start. So he's up to 4 damage. We need 6 more on him. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my scepter and my staff and attack him. He gets a blue and a green dice. Let's see what happens. Ugh, not good. Okay, so he ended up getting a 2 shields. His BAM does nothing for him, but he got 2 shields. I didn't generate any type of BAM. No, sorry, I do, because I'm in shadow mode. So I generate 1 BAM. I can either heal myself, which I could do because I have the max health, which will allow me to go 1 up to, I could go up to 6. But to be honest, the extra BAM makes more sense. Actually, you know what? I should heal, because if I use the BAM for a sword, it just gets wiped out by his shields. I might as well heal myself to 6. That just makes more sense. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we are going to, that was the first attack for him. So now we're going to go, we did the zap, we did the first action. Now I'm going to do this again for a second attack. Yes, second attack. Let's go for the second attack and hope for the best here. I'm kind of scared. Oh, it worked out pretty good. Okay, so we got 1 shield. We got a BAM this time. We got 2 BAMs. So I can't heal anymore because I'm at my max of 6 because a level 2 one gave me 1 extra max, but I can't go to 7 yet until I get up to level 4. So I'm done there, but I can use a BAM for an extra sword. So that's a great use of a BAM. I can also use a BAM to heal another ally in line of sight. And I have Whisper right here, so I'm going to heal Whisper for 1 with the other BAM. So my wizard has healed Whisper and has also given himself an extra sword. This particular spider blocked 1, but I put through 2 damage. So now the spider is at 6. Now I have 1 more action remaining with the battle wizard, and I could, of course, risk it and try to hit him and kill him, but I really don't think I'm going to be able to, and I want to obviously avoid a counterattack. So I'm going to teleport from here into this room and then into here. So I'm in a dark space and also at a line of sight. This automatically means right now when the battle wizard's turn is done that the spider would do a counterattack. The problem is a counterattack does not happen if you're not in line of sight and you're also in a dark spot. It doesn't know where to go and it can't find you, so nothing happens, which is awesome. So a battle wizard is able to hit him and then just kind of go hide somewhere, which is great. So now what's going to happen is the enemy's phase will trigger. It's going to trigger against Whisper, which is good because Whisper has way more defense than anybody else. And the attack is going to be 2 yellow dice for the spider versus 3 blue dice. I got way more than enough shields and no BAMs whatsoever on that one. But we blocked everything there, no problem. Plus, we already have plate armor defense. We're way more than fine. That's so good. That's so awesome. Oh, I didn't even notice. No, sorry guys, I forgot. Melee +1. That's going to change things, but it really doesn't on this particular attack. And actually, you know what? Now in hindsight, even though I missed that on the battle wizard's attack, I think I was fine on him too. I don't think that extra 1 added anything on any of the attacks for melee. Even in the last round, it didn't either. But I did miss that, so I do apologize, that tiny little text there. I thought it was part of the range thing, but I think that's separate. Okay, my mistake, but it's good to keep an eye out for that. All right, so at this point now, we're done our enemy's phase, and we move to the experience phase. Neither of us can spend any experience, so that's good. And actually, you know what? We're going to go to the event phase really quick and see what it is. Agent Patrol. Okay, search the current level guard deck for an agent card and spawn it on the current level token. Shuffle the deck afterwards. If there are no agent left in the deck, shuffle it and spawn a mob card instead. All right, guys. So at the beginning of the next episode, this is what we're going to do. I hope you guys are enjoying the playthrough. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything. Keep on rolling solo.